Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com with match number 1 with the postmodern banning Soul Sisters. Now I was checking out some MTGO data. It actually looks like Suppression Field would be quite good in the format. This is one of those hands that I think is keepable. We have one more land we can cast everything, but we have a 4 and a 3 drop without any lands in sight. Just the first turn play. I don't think we keep this. I would on the draw. I'd probably keep this, but on play I think we have to ship it back. And this is much worse. We have to mulligan this. And this is even much worse. We have to mulligan it. And we'll keep the 4-land hand and put a Ghost Quarters on the bottom. Funny thing is if we're going against Burn, this is actually a decent hand. Because the Auriok Champion is the only thing we do need. And we'll pass the turn. So not a good start, of course. Nothing we can do, though, against the mulligan 2-4. Blackleaf Cliffs, though, if he thought sees me, I'm just going to... Nah, come on, jerk. You can't thought... It's against the rules to Inquisition someone that's mulled down to 4. Well, the best thing we can hope for now is just to run into another land in Spectral Processions. Is what I... Ha! There we go. Or we could draw into another Auriok Champion. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, Jund? We just drew another one. But if he's got another Thoughtseize, he just rips out this Honor the Pure. If Jund gets incredibly big, that's when we'll bring in the Leyline of Sanctities. I don't even know if we care. I think that just having a card like the Return of the Ranks is better against Jund than Leylines. Let them use a card to get a card in your graveyard, and then you eventually just get it all back. They do have the ever-annoying Scavenging Ooze, though, so keep that in mind. Opponent seems to be making a lot of this, or thinking a lot here for a person with one card in their hand. Hopefully our opponent decides to join us here quickly. Maybe while we are waiting for our opponent, let's go ahead and look at the metagame for Modern and see what we can come up with. So a lot of this might be some leftover cards or leftover decks before, because it even seems like right... When do we start getting the... Okay, so here's where Thopter Foundry starts. And it looks like, yeah, right here, then there's still some decks that have had maybe Eldrazi or now banned cards in them. But right now, Infect, 9% of the metagame, Affinity, 6% of the metagame, Abs and Company, 5%, Jund, 5%, Zoo, Merfolk, Living End. All of these are very beatable with Soul Sisters. And then if you can see some of that have won, a Titan Shift, Lantern Control, yeah, there's no real... like. Soul Sisters was unplayable with Eldrazi because Eldrazi was impossible for Soul Sisters to beat, and then all of the decks that were beating Eldrazi's were very hard for Soul Sisters to beat. So we do find another land in Honor the Pure. This is actually okay. This is a good little start. Now all of his Thoughtseizes and Inquisitions are dead cards, but if he draws a Liliana, I think we're just done. I will make the trade if he attacks him with the Scavenging Ooze. That's an annoying card. Yeah, we make this trade. Oh, geez, why do I can't make the trade. I have an Auriok Champion in the bin. That's right. Oh, well, there's no way we're coming out of this. Here's a Lightning Bolt, can take care of my Ajani's Pridemate. He'll attack into the Ooze. Yeah, that was actually pretty bad because I would have had an Auriok Champion back. Don't know if it matters if it's like well, we have another Honor the Pure. So swinging for 4. See if he has a Terminate. What it can get us out of this is to draw into a runner of either like... Now, I was going to say Secure the Waste works really good, but the Spectral Processions. See if he's going to pulse off. Looks like just a Raging Ravine, so he's going to race me here. And I don't think there's any way I can race. There's another Pridemate. And we'll keep him back. Drew out of this pretty good for mulling to 4. Definitely should have kept around my... We're in a double block here. No, just single block. Because if he kills the one in Exiles, we're not in we're in terrible shape. Yeah, Abrupt Decay in Exiles. We would have been 2 for 1 again. Or wait, we do get 2 for 1. Yep, so... Yeah, and I think we are dead on the backswing. Yeah, he activates and we're dead. So I think we would have had a 7-hand against this particular draw. We would have been fine, though. All right, I'll focus better for this one. I think Archangel of Thune is perfect in this deck. And just return to the ranks. Mark of Asylum can work against Lightning Bolts, and if he brings anything else, but I think it is just Lightning Bolts and Kolaghan's Command. So Mark of Asylum doesn't quite come in against Jund that has access to Terminate and Abrupt Decay. We don't need Sundering Growth. We don't need Painoheeds or Celestial Flares. Celestial Flares can be pretty good against some of his cards, but stabilization through creatures is a lot better than trying to stabilize versus killing his cards. I actually don't like the Path to Exiles in this matchup. I think we just go down to a 2 of Path to Exiles. I've had Wrath of Gods in the sideboard against these type of decks too. The Martyr's actually quite weak. I'm not a fan of Martyr in this match. We'll keep in 1, and maybe we'll just keep in 3 Path to Exiles, because the rest of these cards aren't worth bringing in. And we'll submit this. Alright, CS we'd like to play first, and this is a keepable hand. We have the Archangel of Thune, which is kind of a dead card right now, but we have the first turn Serra Ascendant into second turn Auriok Champion. If he thought sees the Auriok Champion, then we have an Honor the Pure for the Serra Ascendant to get in there for some damage. Ghost Quarters are great in this matchup too for his Raging Ravines. That's usually one of the ways that he combats the card advantage that Soul Sisters can get. I do like Spectral Procession versus this particular deck, Jund, but I'm not quite sure that or Squadron Hawks. I'm not quite sure Squadron Hawks are actually good versus the rest of the metagame. If they end up being pretty decent, though, we will. I think it's Honor the Pure here over Auriok Champion, because then we can Spectral Procession next turn. Yeah, definitely. So Lightning Bolt probably coming down here. Nope, no Disfigure Lightning Bolt, so we do gain some life off of the Ascendant. And now he needs a Thoughtseize, but he would have Thoughtseize first turn if he had one. Might be another Scooz that comes out here. Dark Confidant, yeah, he's definitely in a world hurt. Ranger back up here. I'm going to go ahead and attack him with the Serra's Ascendant, see if he wants to make the trade. He does. I think you have to keep the Dark Confidant to have any hope, because this is going to be tough unless he's got a Damnation or some other board wipe. But we have 6 power on board at the moment, which is 3 turns. And like a lot of Kolaghan's Command or Lightning Bolt type cards that he needs to burn off as quickly as possible. Liliana, if it's Liliana, we just kill it. I'm actually not even certain we care if Liliana... Yeah, Kitchen Finks is not a threat whatsoever. Get a Ghost Quarter, which gives us a Ranger, which is perfect. So we'll attack in with these spirits. Get him down to a 12. And we'll definitely Ranger. This ended up being a very, very good curve. And at this point, we will go get a Soul Warden and a Soul Attendant. We want two different things just because of Maelstrom Pulse. But these will pair up very well with the Archangel of Thune. So Goyf. Goyf is again not a card that we find threatening whatsoever. And Ooze is slightly threatening. And he's going to try to come with Kitchen Finks. We don't care. We have two Soul Attendants that we actually can cast almost everything next turn with the... Yeah, we can with the tapping. We can tap all four of them. Ghost Quarter gets one back. Oh, that's a beautiful card to draw into. So we'll go Soul Attendant and Soul Warden. And the Pridemate. And yeah, I just attacking with these. I just leave the Ranger back. So he needs like a Damnation to hit here. But at this point, a Damnation hurts him almost as much. I mean, we go down to 2 cards each in hand, and I've got the Champion, the Archangel of Thune, and he'll have a Kitchen Finks back, though. Another Serra's Ascendant. I just think that I'm not quite sure what we do here. I think we just attack in with the Pridemate. Attacking with everything, I find it very hard for him to come back. No, I was going with the spirits. If he has a bolt or something, he's got to use a bolt on a token. Maelstrom Pulse is a sorcery, so we don't have to worry about it. Still, with the creature composition he has here, I'm not too worried about exiling any of these. Scavenging Ooze is annoying, and that's about it. The Confidants, the Kitchen Finks, the Goyfs, those are cards I typically don't like to path. I don't like to give him another land that is not for like an immediate threat. So beyond the Scavenging Ooze, yeah, there's really nothing. Olivia is where you bring in Path to Exiles, and without any information about Olivia being in the deck or not, I don't think we can justify bringing it in. It's okay versus Kitchen Finks. Kitchen Finks is just kind of a block card versus us. So I have to discard a card. We'll discard a Serra's Ascendant. He goes down to a 1. And he'll be able to gain 2 life, but I'm not too concerned with even throwing out an Auriok Champion here. So he'll exile the Scavenging Ooze and the Serra's Ascendant, puts him up to 3. But he's still kind of grasping at straws here. Not a lot of cards he could draw into. There's a Ravine. And he'll just pass the turn. Or possibly not. And I think I just need to sit tight. Attack into the spirits. We'll cast the other Ranger. And he'll just concede there, so he doesn't have like the lightning bolt or anything. Even if he did, he'd be, like I said before, really fighting an uphill battle. So 3 pass I still think is the right number. You don't want too many of them. We don't need a Pay No Heed. We don't need... Funny thing about Pay No Heeds too is they can be used. A lot of people have put in Brave the Element specifically for Kolgan's, or not Kolgan's command, Kozilek's Return and Pyroclasm. Pay No Heed actually does that. It just prevents all damage the sorcerer choice would deal. So I guess Brave the Elements can give your cards kind of unblockable, or you can actually block mass creatures, or there's a little bit of advantages to that route. But I think Pay No Heed is just a lot more versatile. So we'll just go ahead and submit this. I still don't think Mark of Asylum is the right way to go. This is another good card that's good versus Olivia. This is what you expect from like a Jund versus Soul Searcher. Well, we did lose game 1 actually mulliganing to 4 and playing terribly, so not the most focused right now. I've been trying to do a standard series. Maybe I'll just end up releasing it. I started playing a standard deck, but there is so much Exile right now in standard that cards that want to die are just completely unplayable with Anguish Unmaking and Declaration of Stone, and Warping Whale actually exiles cards that end up really messing up my game plan. And so it's just rough right now to kind of play the style I want to play in standard. We'll go ahead and keep this. This is a decent hand, 2-lander. That's what you want to see on a draw. We want the ability to draw into another land here. Spectral Procession is a great card. See if he's got Inquisition or Thoughtseize. Both of those cards actually don't hurt us too much, because he has to decide if he wants to go Return to the Ranks. Inquisition can basically only get Soul's Attendant, Return to the Ranks, and Soul Attendant, which a Lightning Bolt could have easily taken care of. So he does get Return to the Ranks. So he doesn't care about... Yeah, that's a smart card to get. I think we need a Windbrisk Heights just to come into play tapped here. If this would have been another land, I could have thought about that. We'll go ahead and go the Honor the Pure underneath. And Duress can get the Spectral Procession. That's an interesting card that he brought in. But we have plenty of cards that just fill back up our hand. Hate to overextend too much. Yeah, I still think it's another Windbrisk Heights into play tapped. That way we can still get Ranger on time. We don't have to have any disruptions. And this is where Spectral Procession will be really good. And now the Soul Attendant, which can die to a Lightning Bolt. We don't know if he's using like Golgari Charms or whatnot either. But I hate to overextend into a board wipe. See if this is a Liliana. Kitchen Finks. Okay. I am definitely not worried about a Kitchen Finks. Another Honor the Pure. I do want to throw them all out here, though. Because that forces out him killing a Soul Attendant next turn. Or, if I am worried about Golgari Charm, this is where I throw out the Honor the Pure. I want to have this online, but I'm thinking it's just good just to drop the Honor the Pure. And then pass. So it could be Liliana. Then I'll kick myself because then... Well, no, because the Liliana would have taken care of the Soul Attendant. Jund is actually a decent deck to bring in suppression fields against. It makes it so that the Ranger of Eos is near impossible to actually activate and attack in and hold up any sort of mana. Liliana takes 2 more. The Scavenging Ooze takes 3 to activate its ability. He needs to rip my hand apart here. He can't attack in the Kitchen Feast, so I can just crack back on the Soul Warden. If he casts any like Goyf, I gain 2 life. Rest in Peace is actually very good against Jund. That's another card that I thought about putting in the sideboard. But there just wasn't enough justification. I guess sort of the Meek, though, is justification. Yeah, I guess Rest in Peace probably wants to be at least a 1 over 2 of in the sideboard. There's Storm decks going around. Yeah, we'll make that adjustment. I think it is a decent card. So he just holds back and holds everything back. So we need to hit a land, and we do hit a land. Perfect. And we will just crack the Ranger. And at this point, I think we will just get a Soul Attendant and a Soul Warden. Jund is a damage-based deck, so the most life we can gain, the harder it is for him to, of course, win the game. And now he has to react by killing like a Soul Warden or something. But that's not a good feeling to have to be using a Terminate on a Soul Attendant. Without a Dark Confidant or anything to give him any sort of card advantage. And he can't be attacking you with the Kitchen Finks. So here's where we get. And he just blew a Terminate, so I'm not going to overextend past this card. Well, maybe I do. How badly do we die to a Damnation here? He's down to 2 cards. Especially, oh yeah, now we overextend. He has 1 card in hand. This is pretty much over. Unless his last card in hand is a Damnation. But there's no way he'd be blowing these Terminates if the last card in hand was a Damnation. And I don't think there's like an Abrupt Decay in his hand either. Otherwise, he probably would have taken care of the Honor of the Pure. But now, if he does have the Abrupt Decay, he's asked to use it on the Ajani's Pridemate. Not going to attack in with the Ranger. He had a pretty typical Jund hand. He didn't have... I guess you want like a Dark Confidant or a Tarmogoyf for a Liliana for the card advantage after you've disrupted and controlled the board, which he didn't get. But a Kitchen Finks 5 lands and Terminate and 2 hand disruptions, that's pretty typical for Jund. So here, we just attack in actually, rather than go Auriok Champion. And we will swing with everything. The last 2 cards of his hand have to be ways to remove creatures. Activating the Raging Ravine is actually pretty terrible here too, as he'll lose the Raging Ravine to the Honor of the Pure that we're going to flash in. All right, so Abrupt Decays. So 1 Honor of the Pure. And a Spectral Procession, which will gain us a ton of life. Come on, stack these triggers, MTGO. And he'll be taking 8, gaining another 2. I don't know why he didn't Lightning Bolt way before then. Maybe he was just waiting to see what was underneath. But yeah, 33 life with a 5/4 and 3/3/3s. It'd have to be like a Damnation that he would put out here. And I don't understand this attack. Well, it's because he's just giving up. That was I just lost the game attack. Unless he's just trying to get a big... Yeah, there's no reason for... We'll go ahead and attack him with everything. He'll have to block the Ranger and take 9. So Damnation's the only thing that's saving, but Ranger's just trading 2 cards for, or 1 card for 2 cards, so we're going to play it. This ended up being like the most ideal Soul Sisters hand. And he has 1 turn to draw that Damnation. If not, it is a GG. And there it is. All right, so not bad. We get the first game out of the way with a W in our column. This is Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.